What's up, everybody? Flan Speaks is back, and as I promised that I would do a little bit of Marvel, I decided to go ahead and start with throwing out some ideas on what I think may go down with my favorite superhero and my favorite part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that is Wakanda, and we're dealing with none other than King T'Challa, the Black Panther himself. Unfortunately, it appears showrunners as well as Kevin Feige decided not to recast T'Challa, so it's going to be a little difficult for me to predict. Yeah, I'm of the opinion that while Chadwick Boseman put forth a stellar performance that will probably not be duplicated, that T'Challa should still be recasted because of his existence and importance in the Marvel Universe. And for me personally, I feel as though even Chadwick Boseman would not approve of what they're doing. At any rate, let's go on. My favorite Black Panther series was dropped in 2008 by Reginald Hundlin, and what I'm hoping is that they will take the cinematic universe, Kevin Feige as well as Ryan Coogler will take some of the ideas that was in this particular series. For me, this series was so impactful on so many different levels, and I think a lot of people don't know about it and they slept on it. One of the major themes that it was built around was the relationship between King T'Challa and Storm. One of the most iconic relationships and power couples in the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. I really don't know how you replace such iconic storytelling without T'Challa. I don't know if they're going to have Killmonger be the leader. I don't know if they're going to go with Shuri. I don't know what they're going to do. But how do you replace such storylines like the marriage between T'Challa and someone like Storm, something I think will be great on the big screen? Listen, I can't even get into how crazy this particular storyline is. Like, you had everything in this here storyline from the Fantastic Four getting up with Black Panther and Storm. New York was faced with this grave danger of being destroyed. I'm not going to get into who actually was doing what this particular video. I'll do that later. But anyway, T'Challa gets hold of some golden frogs, which were some frogs that were owned by King Solomon. Yes, King Solomon himself, as a means to transfer the fight from where they were to somewhere else. Of course, as in Marvel's Cinematic Universe style, it doesn't turn out well. Well, actually, what ends up happening is they get transported by these frogs to an alternate universe. And this alternate universe is one that is ruled by some Skrulls. Yeah, the Skrulls. They do not know this at first, so what happens is they end up on Delancey Street getting shot up by Lucky Luciano. Dig it. Though they do survive that, what happens is T'Challa and the Thing, they are kind of arrested and they're put in some arena, Planet Hulk style situation. And you got right here, the Thing meets up with what appears to be Bumpy Johnson, okay, the godfather of Harlem himself, Bumpy Johnson. Storm, who is the princess or the queen-to-be of Wakanda, gets caught up with some Black Panthers who introduce her to none other than Martin Luther King Jr. My people, I told you this thing was bananas, but it don't even stop there. She then later gets introduced to Malcolm X. Malcolm X then later gets introduced to T'Challa. Come on, man. You got Malcolm X is telling T'Challa, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. Now, how can I not love this, man? This thing is bananas, storyline-wise. And what we find out is there's a whole army of Skrulls behind the whole thing, man. Meaning there's a Skrull that turned into Malcolm. There's a Skrull that turned into Martin. There's a Skrull that turned into Bumpy Johnson. There's a Skrull that turned into Lucky Luciano. At a certain point in this adventure, they meet this guy and his mistress Death. Now, as it turned out, these are a group of Skrulls that in this particular alternate reality had taken on the mantle of the fight against oppression that has been experienced by the African Americans, and they found it, I guess, akin to the oppression they were feeling. So they started imitating and taking on the form of the Bumpy Johnsons and of the Malcolm X's and the Martin Luther Kings. Like I told you, man, bananas. My people, eventually Eric Killmonger gets involved like the government agent snitch that he is. He gets some hand on some sophisticated equipment that I'm sure is government funded. He somehow traps Princess Shuri, which causes Black Panther to get a little sidetracked from what he was on in order to pay attention to that. Alright, we got Princess Shuri caught up, right? So T'Challa got to make some rounds. So he makes a call up to, well, of course, Tony Stark to get some information on Killmonger. Tony Stark kept it real with him. He said, look, that's government information. I can't really help you with that, but I got somebody for you. So we got to bring in the big guns. And of course, that's none other than my girl. Oh yes, the one, the only, Monica Rambeau. Who comes swooping in, and you know she move fast, y'all. She gonna be there within seconds. But dig this. As soon as she gets there, she ends up being captured by this dude Killmonger, who has control of some force field thing that he operates by usage of a telepathic monkey that works under him, which is a complete weird thing I'm not quite understanding, but hey, it's in the comic book. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I think it's needless to say that eventually Monica breaks out of that crap. Local Wakandans are in awe. They call her everything from Sun Goddess. Some of them, like Zuri, for example, I won't mention names, believes that, you know, T'Challa should marry Monica instead of Storm. You know, different things like that, little drama. But the point is, man, people, my people, how can you not want to see this on the big screen? What more could you want? You got T'Challa. You got Storm. You got the rest of Wakanda. You got Falcon at some point in this thing. You got Luke Cage at some point in this thing. And you got Monica Rambeau. I had no idea about this series because, I mean, I was a comic book reader, but then I got away from it. But as I started to get back into it, this is some serious material. And since we're doing this World of Wakanda thing, man, I am dying to see what showrunners are going to do after that excellent WandaVision origin of Monica Rambeau, as well as origin of the Scarlet Witch thing they just put out. I'm trying to imagine. I know that if they would have put together a storyline that included Blade, Black Panther, Monica Rambeau, Luke Cage, and everything like that, and put that on Disney Plus, it would just blow up, and it would be the craziest thing I've ever seen, because we definitely know, though, they have the source material to support it. Thanks for watching, my people. Until next time, Flash Speaks, I'm out.